be patient with me every week. All right. Well, welcome, guys, to another episode of the Eventful Life TV, Living Out Loud. I am your host, Janelle Boyd. I'm the owner of the Eventful Life Enterprises. I am also an event producer, digital marketing strategist. I also am an educator, but in this place right here, I like to call myself an instigator because I truly love to challenge you to think differently, especially all my women out there, my women entrepreneurs, my moms who are also entrepreneurs. I like to challenge you to think differently because right now we are in a season where, we need to think differently about how we move forward, about how we move into kind of the next level of things in business and life, right? And that is what the Eventful Life TV Living Out Loud is all about. It is about bringing you women entrepreneurs, women who are mompreneurs, as you guys know, I affectionately like to coin it, but bringing them before you so that you get to experience that you're not alone in what you are doing or how you are being, right? A lot of times we think that we're alone in our failures, or we're alone in being stuck kind of in this place of where to go or how to move next. But I'm telling you, you are not alone. There are so many women who can identify with you. And the more that we share our truths, the more that we empower one another to rise above the things that we subconsciously are keeping ourselves down with. And it allows us to move forward confidently, right? So that's what this is all about. So here's what I want you to do. Share this with another, listen, don't be stingy. Share this with another woman entrepreneur, another mompreneur that you know needs to get a word tonight, okay? Because now that we've shifted to our new time, y'all already know, I told you last week, we shifted to our new time at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time so that we can bring you, before we was bringing you a little lunch, a little snack, but now we're bringing you a full meal. We're bringing you soul food, okay? So we're here with you 7:00 every Thursday, and I want you to share this, gift another woman the blessing of a word for dinner, okay? Some soul food for dinner. So with that, listen, this is a special episode, y'all. I cannot contain my excitement because this woman that I have on here today, she's amazing. I've known her for what I feel like has been my whole life. But, she has seen me through my different seasons of shifting and moving into different areas of my life. But I've also had the blessing of seeing her move and shift. And honey, when I say move, I mean move, okay? Like different level type of moves. And it's a blessing when you have someone in your sphere that you can always watch and absorb things, even if they're not right there with you physically. You always can feel their presence because you see them doing great things, but you also see how they continually pour into others because they want to see them genuinely do great things too. And so I'm elated and just honored to have my mentor. She's been my mentor, probably one of the first mentors that I had in my professional life, here with me today, Yolanda Hunter. She is a mom. She is a consummate businesswoman. She is also the CEO of Monde Management Consulting. And so I am just, Yolanda, I'm excited to have you, girl. Hey there.
Hello. I am excited too. I've been looking forward to this chat.
Yes, I know, right? We've been saying, okay, we gotta find the time, we gotta find a date. And that's what happens when, you got women in your world who are movers and shakers, honey. You have to figure out a way to find a way to make sure that they can get in get into your sphere, because she's always moving and shaking. So this is so good. Thank you for saying yes, and just for being here, because like I said, we've been in each other's world for a very long time now. I mean, what is it, 10 years?
Gosh, I don't know. I don't know, at least 12 years, possibly.
Yeah,
Easy,
easy. That's
easy. But
right.
12 or 15, easy.
Right.
Yeah.
She's seen me have, but she's seen me pre-kids. She has seen me back in our sunrise.
Pre-marriage.
Yes, pre-marriage. Look, she's seen me back in my sunrise days. Some of you don't know me from my former life when I was in healthcare, in the senior living world. And that's actually where Yolanda became my first professional career mentor. She was my boss as well. And, she just took me under her wing and was like, you know what? Let me help this little girl out. So, because she got some things to do in this world, but I'm gonna make sure she know how to get it done, right? How to move through
How to
certain
move.
things. That's right. That's
Mhm.
right. So I'm just so grateful for you. And let's start. I want to, since I'm sharing you with the world, let's start with just how kind of got started yourself, as a woman in business. You own businesses now. I mean, was that ever the dream, like when you were growing up? Like, tell me about little Yolanda, right? Was that the dream when you were growing up, to own businesses one day?
Well, it's funny because little Yolanda only knew business owners because my grandfather actually owned his own business and was one of the very few African American males that had their own business. And my dad actually worked for his dad.
Wow.
My uncle worked there, my nephew, my brother. So everybody kind of got a piece of the family business. So that's all I knew
Mm,
from the beginning. It was that the possibility was there, the option was there, that it was not out of my reach because that's all I knew from the beginning. Now, of course, we have many professionals in the family, but to
right.
have that, you know, matriarch of the family be that business owner in an era where typically you would not own your own business, your own
That's right.
property.
That's
It
right.
was amazing to see. And of course, I didn't realize how amazing it was until I was much older because that's what I knew.
Right. Right. So in your mind, you're like, this is normal. You're thinking, well, this is normal. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. When did you have that awareness? Because I heard you say, at the time I probably didn't realize it or didn't appreciate it as much as when I got older. When was that moment that you kind of had that awareness of like, wow, this wasn't normal. Like, we actually were different than
Yeah.
most.
Yeah. Well, we being people of color, we just realized we had to work a little bit harder, right? To
Amen.
launch our own businesses, to get funding
That's right.
for our businesses. That was a big thing that I realized. So I was just like, oh wow, that's a challenge. Like, I can't walk into a bank and say, I need a loan and walk out with that loan,
Mm,
fairly quickly. I had
mm.
to jump a few hurdles
Right,
to make sure
right,
that those things happened, or seek my own financing, for
right.
my
Wow.
business. So
Yes.
absolutely. So, as I grew in my career, and then in the business world, just seeing you know, how different business professionals, business owners maneuvered. You know, I mean, I have mentors who are business owners who I was able to see as a young adult own their own businesses, family members. So again, the possibility was there, and they were always able to share with me how to make it happen.
Right.
And I definitely, like you said, I was your mentor. I have a team of mentors out there for
That's
sure.
right.
And I'm blessed to have them in my life, that I was able to kind of walk through different scenarios professionally throughout my career with them when it was time for me to make key business decisions.
Yes, I love that. I love the common thread of people who mentored typically have mentors as well. I think sometimes
Absolutely.
but sometimes the misconception is that, oh, because you are a mentor, you don't have a mentor, or you don't get mentored, right? But I'm like, it's just as important to have mentors as it is to be the mentor, right?
Absolutely. And I was blessed because, you know, my mentors were family members.
Mm,
And, you know, it was two of my first cousins,
wow.
Monica and Marcia. And it was so funny because my dad actually told me as a young girl, like, those girls right there, those are your mentors. You need to talk to them and
Mm,
seek them out throughout your life. And this is when I was really young. And I've done that, you know,
that's
my
so
entire life.
good.
So
So your dad set that
absolutely.
up. He was like, listen, let me
Exactly.
put you on notice.
Yes, like that's who you need to be talking to.
That's right.
Let them be your role models.
That's
Yeah,
so good.
absolutely.
That's
And
so
they look
good.
like me. So that was the beautiful thing about it.
Hey, there you go. That part, because sometimes that's not the case, right?
Mhm.
So this is a great segue into, you as a business owner. So, as you were kind of going through your professional career, climbing the ladder and things like that, when did you decide you actually wanted to open your own business, have your own, your own business versus working for someone else, which neither, I want to be clear, neither are above the other.
Mhm.
There has been a place in everyone's journey for both, if that's what you desire and that is
Mhm.
what you want. But when did you decide that for yourself, Yolanda, about just knowing that, hey, I want to step into ownership?
Well, you know, it came twofold
Mhm.
because, you know, about 7 years ago, my husband, who was in marketing and sales for home care, who you know, Chad,
Shout out,
you know,
Chad. Chad.
yes, yes. So, you know, he was doing some marketing and sales for a home care company, and he came, and of course, you know, we're in the healthcare industry. And he had some concerns and some complaints about the level and quality of care that was being provided.
Mm.
And so when he complained, I was like, well, go ahead, start your own. And he was just like, you know what? Okay. So he was like, so you gonna help me do that?
That's
So, you
right.
know, the regulatory side of me, because, you know, I spend a lot of time, you know, me in, you know,
Hmm.
policy writing, you know,
Yes.
research and regulations, you know, getting different businesses throughout senior living, hospice, home care, assisted living license. So I was just like, okay, I'll do it, you know, but
Hmm.
I'm gonna do it and you're gonna run it, and I'm gonna stay in my little safe zone over here, and I'm gonna keep working. But you go ahead, I'm gonna support you 100%. So,
Right.
you know, he was fine with that, and that's what he did. And so we've had the home care company now for 7 years, do my home care
That is
here in the
awesome.
Atlanta area.
Yeah.
But really, I helped start it, but it's his, you know, like,
Right.
you know, I
Right.
did the packet, I was his consultant. I mean, that's his baby. He's run it, managed it for the past 7 years. You know, yes, I did some quality assurance audits, you know, because that's
Yeah.
what I do. But like I said, only on a consultant basis for
Yeah.
sure. That was definitely his baby. So, you know, throughout the years, he was just like, you know, when you're coming over, you know, like, you
He
know,
said, when is it gonna be your time?
exactly. He was just like, what, you know, like, when is it going to happen? And so, I mean, I think I'm probably 3 years past the time that he was ready for me to make it happen.
Right.
But I say everybody has to do everything in their own time.
That's right. That's
Right.
right. That's right.
So
And
I
really,
think
you were still in it because you were, like his backup. He was the front, you were the back. You were just kind of like the magician behind the curtains. You were kind of, working things when you needed to behind the
quality
scenes.
assurance only, but he was doing the grinding.
That's so good. That's so good.
Yeah.
But shout out to,
Yeah.
Again, couples, families, married couples who understand how to work within the gifts and talents of each other. I love that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, just last year, just, of course, in this world of COVID, this pandemic, just really allowed for me to self-reflect
Right.
and say, what am I doing? What am
Yeah.
I doing with my life? Okay, I love my job. I love the people I work with, but it's time for me to make a shift.
Yeah.
It's time for me to make a bigger impact in the community. And I can only do that if I'm at the helm, if I'm
Come
controlling my
on now.
destiny. Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was really what it is. I was ready to make a larger impact in the community,
Yeah.
actually more in a community of people that look like me.
Come on. Yes.
And I can only do that by, stepping out and doing exactly what I'm doing now. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited. And so we've coupled the home care company with the management and consulting arm now.
Yes.
So,
That's
I'll still
so
be
good.
consulting, and I used to do a lot of consulting for him with private companies that would, reach out to ask for, my consulting services to help them get their businesses licensed. I've done some home care companies, some hospice
Yeah. That's why
companies.
I said, girl, you were still working. Like, I want to be clear. Like, it's not like she was sitting at home eating bonbons. Like, no, she was still working and making it happen, just in a different way. And I want to point out what you said about timing, right? Because I think that sometimes we are, we can get discouraged, but we also can think that things aren't happening just because of it not happening in someone else's or even our own perceived timing, and timing is everything. Like, it truly is. And I've come to learn that, I'm not going to profess that I'm the most patient person, but I've come to learn that timing is everything. And so I want to point out that you said, he might have thought that it should have happened 3 years ago, but the timing wasn't there yet, and
Absolutely.
whatever you were still trying to, whatever you were getting and doing and preparing, it wasn't time. So here we are, right?
Yep.
Fast forward, and we're still in a pandemic, but I would argue one of the biggest things that has come out of this is the reality that we need more healthcare for our people, meaning people of color, and particularly, right? It's put a big spotlight on the fact that we don't have that like we thought we did.
We don't have that, but we don't have the professionals, out there. And so, of course, with me opening up the allied health training centers, DuMine training centers. So, we have DuMine home care, and now we have DuMine training center.
So talk a little bit about the training centers. Like, what's the vision of the training centers and how they will impact, the community and things like that?
Yeah. So with the training centers, it's allied health. So it's probably going to touch most of our communities, for individuals who don't feel like they really want to go to college, not at this point in their professional careers. Wow. So, we're going to hire some career counselors, recruiters to kind of go out to the high schools, to some vocational centers. We're going to connect with the unemployment offices. We're going to go into some communities that some people might not go into, and find in those community centers there that group of people that we can motivate and give them an opportunity and actually help them realize that that opportunity is there so that they can come and get that certification. And they might start out as a CNA, they might start out as a phlebotomist, but wait, 5 years from now, they could be a nurse.
That's right. Gotta start somewhere.
Exactly. So we just want to kind of speak that existence into their being and let them know that the opportunity is there. And it's going to be for a group of individuals, mostly, of course, like I said, they look like me. We're going to go into the inner cities. We're going to go into rural areas as well. So, I'm not going to discriminate. Anybody who wants to get educated and develop themselves professionally are welcome. To come to our centers, definitely, and pick out one of the courses that we're going to offer. But that's what we're looking forward to. It's just, I want to touch hundreds of people's lives versus having that small group of individuals. Like, I love how, I've been able to mentor you throughout your professional career. I have a group of individuals that I've served as a mentor to, but just think how I can touch hundreds of individuals with opening up these training centers. So that's the impact I want to leave. And that was the impact I was ready to make.
Yes, I love that. Oh my goodness. That is just, I'm not surprised at all. Because Yolanda, you have always had that type of heart. You have always had that type of wisdom. And you've always had an impact wherever you are. So this is just taking it like literally to the 1,000th degree, where now it's just, bigger, better, wider, right? And like you said, more people that look like you and I will be able to be impacted and lives be changed, which in this, economic climate that we're in right now, I really feel like it's even more pertinent, like the urgency of, building a legacy through impacting others. The urgency of that is even more apparent based on where we are right now in this economic climate, and I love, I love the fact that you have grabbed a hold of that and understand the importance of that. So tell us in terms of ownership, right? As you're moving into, and not just ownership in business. Like, let me be clear about that too, because Yolanda just, and I don't want to put all her business out on Front Street, but she doesn't.
Don't put it out there.
She's like, no, don't put it all out there. Let me just say, she's a multi-layered owner of many things. Okay. And I just think that the importance of ownership empowers us to be able to do more, right? To be able to do more for our economic reach, to be further, to go wider and be further. And so I think that's super important as well. What made you realize the importance of, kind of tapping back into your community, right? Because you said kind of just as you have been going, you realize, like, I want to, give back to my community, basically, and I think that's
I've always,
great quality.
I think there has not been a time in my life where I have not wanted to give back to my community. I've actually sit on the board for a nonprofit organization I have for many years, Live to Enrich, where it really works on developing young children, their love for writing. And I actually selfishly, I say, sit on the board because, Terry Whitmire, who's the founder and executive director, she does an amazing job with the kids. And I just thank her for giving me the opportunity to lend my business expertise to her, to help grow the amount of children that her life impacts. So I was kind of living vicariously through her as she was actually touching the children. And so I was like, you know what, it's time for me to go touch some people too.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
She's like, it's time for me to touch some people too. I love that. I love that.
Mhm.
So just as we're talking about, again, impact and ownership, legacy, I want to move into our third question. We've been talking a lot about just the impact that you want to have, especially on people, people who look like you and I. It goes without saying that there are a lot of inequities as it relates to
Mhm.
ownership and the history of ownership with people of color. And so I want to impart, as we start to wrap up, I want to impart or ask you to impart some wisdom with regards to ownership. If someone, if there is a woman entrepreneur or a mompreneur out there who is really, really trying to figure out, how do I step into ownership, whether that's, owning a business, owning a home, owning real estate, property, whatever. How do I do that? Because maybe they are feeling a bit intimidated about how to do that, right? The steps to do that, or maybe they haven't been fortunate enough to have those, role models who can show them, right? Can show the pave the road for them, or can show them. What would be some piece of advice that you would offer to someone like that?
Well, I always say find a good mentor for
Yeah.
sure. Find a mentor, that helps, but a lot of people where they fell with you know being an entrepreneur is that they have a hobby, and they say, oh my gosh,
Mm,
like I do this so well. I bake pies. I love to bake pies. I bake cakes. I'm gonna open a bakery. But they don't think about all the different aspects of being a business owner.
yeah,
Learn every aspect of what it takes to own a business. What about insurance? Do you have liability insurance? Are you going to
that's
have
right.
health benefits? you know
Right. That's right.
like it's just little bitty things. So I say educate yourself on all the nuances of being an entrepreneur, all the things that you need to do to own a business, and then take that actual thing that you have a passion for and let that definitely be the feature, highlight that. But
Yeah.
that's not going to be what's going to carry you. You
Right.
having that business acumen to understand what it takes to drive a profit. you know
That's right.
your
That's right.
basic, what's my revenue going to be, what's my expenses going to be, what's my return, if I'm
That's
going to
right.
have investors, what return on investments can I give them? So how can you articulate that and educate your potential investors, and then sell yourself?
Yeah.
You have to have people believe in you, and that you can basically drive it down to what, home plate,
Yeah,
and
that's
get to the
right.
finish line at the end of the race. So that's the big thing. It's really about believing in yourself, but you have to educate yourself on the entire art of being a business owner. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Many times I ask questions to people about, do you have insurance? And they're like, what do you mean insurance? I'm like,
And I know
liability
you
insurance.
looking like, okay, yeah, no, I won't be using you.
Exactly. So, definitely that. And then in the end, guess what? You have to take the risk.
That's right.
You have to bet on yourself, because if
Mm.
you're not going to bet on yourself, who is going to bet on you?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
you
good.
have to believe that you can get it done. And guess what? If it doesn't work out exactly the way you plan, go back to the drawing board, put another strategy together, and try it again.
And get back at it. That's
Yeah,
right.
because you're probably going to learn so much more from that failed experience than you would have doing anything else. So then
Yes.
that next project is going to be exceptional. So,
Mm,
that's what I say. Bet on yourself and have a strategy. Work
that's
through that
good.
strategy. If you fail, don't give up. Try again.
That's good. Look, she was like, that's it. Keeping it simple. Okay. I love
Simple.
it. Yes,
Simple.
I love it. And and okay. So that is amazing. Thank you so much for those words of wisdom. I hope y'all were taking notes. If not, thankfully, you can go back and listen to this again. So thank you so much, Yolanda. So as we wrap up, y'all know how I do. We have to do our rapid fire, and that's my 5 questions.
Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm gonna sit back for this.
Y'all see how they all start kind of glistening when I say my 5 questions? Y'all, I'm harmless. But I do not take responsibility for anything that is said, okay? All right, here we go. Rapid fire. You ready? You ready, Yolanda?
I'm ready.
Okay, number 1. What do you like to do for fun?
Binge watch good TV series.
Okay, you got to give us what TV series are you binging now, or what's the last one that you binged?
All American.
Oh, I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that too. I got to get caught up because I didn't know they had a new season out.
I know, and I'm finished it already.
Number 2, what's one stereotype about moms or women that drives you bananas?
That we have to cook.
She said that we have to cook. I know that's right. Listen, I love my friends who do cook, and y'all know who y'all are. I love y'all dearly, but that's why I'd rather come to your house.
You know, I can throw down in the kitchen, okay? Because I'm from New Orleans. I can throw down, but I don't want to throw down every day.
I know that's right. I'm with you on that one. That is so good. All right, number 3. Who is your BFF in your head?
My BFF in my head as in a person?
Yes.
You know, my sister is my BFF, Roxanne.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
And then I have, of course, my best friend Reese. That's my number 2 sister, though.
That's okay. Listen, we have lots of sisters. I love it. All right, number 4. What do you dream of becoming?
Gosh, you know, I really don't dream of becoming anything. I dream of helping other people become who they want to be.
That was good. That was real good. All right, and last one, favorite song and why?
Oh, gosh. So, you know, I'm going to go way back to Dougie Fresh.
Oh, you are taking it back.
Oh my gosh. See, if Reese was here, she would tell me my favorite Dougie Fresh song because I can only hear it. And when the music comes on, I cannot think of the name of it. But like when I say I absolutely love Dougie Fresh.
Dougie Fresh. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I cannot think of his song, but oh my gosh, it's like when that song come on, what is it? Anyway, it's one of his songs from way back in the. I cannot think of it. I know, but that is like my favorite. Like I'm gonna have fun. I'm dancing.
That's your hype song.
Yes, exactly. Of course.
I love it.
But then if I'm mellow, I'm gonna just think about Jill Scott living my best life.
Oh yes, yes. We can always do some Jill. We can always
exactly.
That's right. All right, let me go over here and see if there are any questions before we get ready to close out. Y'all know I like to try to get your questions in. So let's just see here. Oh, we got Mary Nixon, Russ Fresh. She says she is a great person. Congratulations to the Hunters. Oh, that's awesome. Awesome.
Who was that?
Mary Nixon.
Oh, yeah, Mary. Yes.
All right, y'all make sure y'all drop your questions. Because we can always come back and answer them. So good stuff. Well, Yolanda, listen, as always, this time goes by so fast, and I appreciate you saying yes to coming here and sharing time and space with me and with us. this week. This was phenomenal. Y'all, she dropped a lot of nuggets. So again, y'all make sure y'all go back, hit that replay and go back and have a listen so that you can really absorb everything that Yolanda shared today. She is a wealth of knowledge. And so I do want to make sure, Yolanda, that you share your just however you want them to be able to reach out to you if they want to, because I'm sure that there are people in the audience who are going to want to stay connected with you after this. So where can they find you?
You can find me on our website. Actually, we're in transition because, of course, we have the home care. So our current website is dumoncares.com.
Okay.
But within the next 72 hours, the Monde Management and Consulting website will be launching. So that's www.dumonde, that's DUMONDEMC.com. Okay, so that's the website, yes. But then you can also go to Facebook at Monde Management and Consulting and find us as well. And we're on Instagram right now as Monde Care Professionals. So we're going to change that name as well. But definitely you can reach us there. And if you want to send an email and get information, you can do that at information@dumondemc.com. And you can hear more about what we have going on here at Monde. Janelle, I have to come back when we open up the training centers. We're set to open in Q4.
Absolutely.
The training centers, in Houston, and we'll have one here, Houston, Texas, actually, and then we'll have one here in the Atlanta, Georgia market. So excited about that.
Yeah, we'll have to do a live one. I would love to come on site and do a live interview so that, the audience can actually see one of the training centers or see what you guys have, so that they can come on and be a part. So that would be awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. And actually, I do have a business partner, Keisha Smith. So actually, Keisha Smith, and she is a partner with me in Monde Management and Consulting. But guess what? We're keeping it in the family. She is my cousin.
Oh, I already knew that. I already knew that, because that's one thing you are about, is keeping it in the family. So,
absolutely, keeping it in the family. Yeah, right. I'll have to introduce you to my marketing director, Thais Mills. Actually, this is her flower that she made with me. She has ThaisFlowers.com, THAIS flowers.com, and she makes these flowers and they're so beautiful. And she said, this is my Monde flower, and she was like, you absolutely have to wear it whenever you do an interview about Monde. So I cannot end this interview without thanking her for my accessories.
And honey, she looks beautiful in it. Okay, and it's on brand. Y'all know how I am about being on brand, so it's also
actually, Thais Flowers is beautiful, and she's going to do art therapy actually in some of the senior living communities that we actually service and care for residents in. She's going to do art therapy with the residents because she has her own art studio. So it's going to be really interactive. So we have a lot of good things going on. So we're
absolutely excited. I cannot wait until, seeing all of this manifest and come to fruition. I know it's going to be beautifully blessed. And this is a real life example, y'all, of how you build legacy. Like, I mean, you just heard her say, listen, like all her cousins, nieces, aunts, like everything. Okay. I'm just like, if you needed an example, here is a living, breathing example. And as it should be for such a time as this. So I love it. I absolutely love it. I adore you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And guys,
thank you.
Yes, and thank you guys for joining us this week. I do not take lightly that you choose to share this time and space with me and with my guests every single week. As I always say, you can have it all. However, make sure that you have it on your terms and your time. Until next week, friends, thank you so much. Be you and be blessed. Bye.
Bye.